So imagine the following scenario. In a particular area, half the population is black, but 96% of the reporters are white. Would you say, well, there seems to be some racism involved here because these numbers don't particularly match up? Well, when it comes to reporters, 96% of them, of course, are donating to the Democrats. Well, when it comes time to presidential elections, close to half the population is voting for Republicans. So we've got half the population Republican or Republican-leaning, and almost no Republicans in the mainstream media. So where is the diversity? Why aren't they sitting down and saying, we really don't have enough of the Republican voices in here. We've got to mix it up. We've got to set quotas. We've got to go out and actively start hiring Republicans to bring that balance. They are not interested in diversity. They are not interested in multiculturalism. This is all a lie. The Democrats want to import everyone who votes Democrat. It's got nothing to do with actual diversity. It is only importing people who are going to vote for Democrats. Now, Democrats as a whole, the mainstream media and the politicos and all of the lobbyists and all of the people surrounding the central hub of power of the state, they've all adapted to that environment. Their investment in education, their investment in their contacts, their investment in their skills, their investment in their networking, everything is an adaptation to state power. And when you've adapted as an organism to a particular environment, you don't want that environment to change. They fight against privatizing. They fight against shrinking the power of the state because they've adapted to exploit the power of the state. And they will burn you down to stay in power. They will burn down the republic. They will burn down freedoms. They will burn down opportunity. They will burn down everything. They will burn down history. They will burn down your future in order to stay in power. This applies to significant portions of the Republicans as well, particularly those who are fighting Donald Trump, who genuinely wants to shrink government. And again, you can look at the Project Veritas James O'Keefe videos. The Democrats, high-level Democrats, hire mentally ill people to start riots and fights at Trump rallies. High-level Democrats openly admit to committing rampant voter fraud and abuse for the past half-century. To stay in power, high-level Democrats are willing to threaten war with Russia. You see, all addicts will burn down their own lives, the lives of those around them, their entire environment, their families, their jobs. They will burn down everything to get their drug of choice. And the Democrats are addicted to political power. It's a dopamine hit. It's a very clear. Studies have shown addiction to being at the top of a hierarchy is more addictive than cocaine. They are addicted to political power. They will say anything. They will do anything. What addicts do, right? They lie, they misrepresent, they manipulate. It's all about the pursuit of power. Now, you can't talk an addict out of his drug of choice. You can't just say, well, I don't think that alcohol is really good for you. I don't think that sexual addiction is really good for you, and so on. You can't talk the addict out of his addiction. You've got to cut off the source. To free people from the demonic grip of the addiction to political power, you must pursue shrinking the size and power of the state. When you pursue shrinking the size and power of the state, they will go through withdrawal, they will survive, and they will have better lives because their drug of choice is going to be minimized. They'll fight like hell against it, of course, because it will feel to them like the end of the world instead of the beginning of a new and productive and fruitful life. So this is really, really important. As the state grows, as the size and power of the state grows, more and more people get caught up in this addiction, become addicted to the dopamine hit and the money and the power and the kiss the ring authority of state power. It absorbs more and more people into its ugly belly. And there are fewer and fewer people to supply the money that the government uses to control the rest of the population. The government swallows more and more people, there are fewer and fewer people to feed the government, and it eats society as a whole. It's smaller government, or it is the end of the world. When people are starting to threaten nuclear-armed Russia before an election, it is smaller government, or it is the end of the world. So you need to take a stand. You need to take a stand now. You need to take a stand online. You need to take a stand in person. You need to get out and talk to people about the reality of the danger your civilization faces, that the state is going to eat all of the fruits, all of the freedoms, all of the glorious gifts our ancestors bled and died to hand to us out of their graves, it is going to be eaten and destroyed and controlled by the ever-expanding, increasingly totalitarian state, which for the first time in history has the incredible technology produced by the free market to control and manipulate the population in ways absolutely unforeseen in the past. There was a two-way telescreen in 1984, now half of Americans are already in a facial recognition database. Take a stand! Take a stand now. It is this election that means everything. Take a stand, get in people's faces, verbally, talk to them, bring the facts. Take a stand. It's now or never. We shrink the state, or we lose everything. It is our last chance. If we fail this, it will never come again. And we will spend the rest of our lives in self-contemptuous regret for failing to act when we still had the freedom to do so.